everybody. This is Looney.
How come
Crazy K.
people that come to the US can be so successful past the people that were born in this country? What's up with that? It makes no sense at all. Can you guys tell me why that happens? I literally want to be educated on that topic. If you've got someone who got common sense, neurological sense, how come people, those are the people I want to talk to. I don't want to talk to the NIGGA. I refuse. Because none of you have brains. It's not like, it's like your cerebellum has not developed. Because you're still believing your brain has not developed by the time you make 21.
And that came.
Wow. Ha! Madness.
Wow. You know what's madness?
That hair.
Not
that hair is madness.
only is that hair madness, your frame of thinking is madness. Your cerebellum has not developed to understand the concept.
That's because your cerebellum is white.
Yeah.
Your cerebellum is white, actually.
And then the fact she said, I don't want to hear from no NIGGAs.
What do you
Girl, the only ones y'all are coming over here and surpassing is the NIGGAs, but you don't want to talk to us about why? I'm going to tell you why. Because as a foreigner, they're willing to bring you over, give you a visa, let you go to school, have employment, and subsidize the African Americans that are here because we are made to be at the bottom, and y'all help oppress us.
And let's talk about this for a second.
Y'all help oppress.
When it comes
you help oppress.
It's not even that. When it comes to these Africans, most of the Africans that come over here to the United States, let's just keep this 100% real, they come from money. There's not many Africans I run into that I've met over my many years of being on this earth whose families don't have something, compounds, other homes, in Nigeria, wherever the fuck.
So in Africa, you're able because all your people
have money
are the
and you're
same.
coming over here with money.
All your people are the same, so y'all able to build wealth. It is not the case in America. African Americans cannot build wealth because the system is not set up for us to obtain anything.
Right. And
It's purposely set up that way. So no matter what we do, no matter what education we get, no matter what career we hold, one thing about America, when you come here, in order for you to obtain things, you need loans. People to open up a business, to get a home, and all that. We are not granted loans. We are refused loans for so many different reasons. So being though that we can't obtain loans, we can't start to build a capital or have what they say, equity to go ahead and finance to get other properties and other things.
Yep. And then to top it all off,
We can't build generation wealth.
yes.
And that's why.
And also, let's talk about how homogenized Africans really feel about white people. Because most of the time, white people come. It was like white people, depending on if they come from more humble beginnings that go to their countries, usually are coming there to bring something. They see white people as, I was like, some of you look to them as saviors, as people that you look up to, or whatever the case may be. All of you are like that. And when it comes, there's a historical blindness aspect as well. It's the fact that many Africans don't take the fucking time to sit there and understand the cultural oppression that we've been dealing with,
Yes.
let alone being enslaved. And if we really want to get historical about it, the people that are there in Africa, how I view you, knowing how we came over here,
Yes.
I would say, so does that mean that You guys who were over there homogenized still there? Were you? I was like, are your ancestors the one that sold us?
Yeah.
Now I'm just asking.
Yeah, it's a legitimate question.
It's a legitimate question because it's like, in my view, I see most Africans as you. I was like, you helped get rid of leaders for white people to come in.
And my thing is too, I don't understand why no other culture and no other place can understand. We all have this one thing that we know is true, that African Americans were trafficked as slaves.
Yep. And mostly sold by their own.
Here, so we originally came over here as slaves. We are still here with our slave masters. Mm-hmm. Okay? We have not escaped our oppression. We live, we eat, we learn with them. We have not been able to escape. One thing about Africa, y'all started to marginalize a lot of the British and starting to take back. Y'all, we don't have that opportunity.
No,
we don't have that.
We don't have
Everybody who owns our banks, who makes our laws, is our oppressor. And that's the reason why we're still oppressed. Everybody able to escape genocide. We're not. We're not. And when we try to go back to Africa, we're not wanting and accept it because y'all don't understand our culture and how we think.
But
it's nowhere we can run to when everybody else can escape y'all oppression. Understand that. There's nowhere for us to go when everybody can escape their oppressor, and that's why y'all strive. That is why y'all strive. It is plain and simple. The same ones who don't like us raise our children, teach our kids, own the banks, give us our loans, make the laws. It's not hard to figure out why we are still where we're at.
Right.
And because our slave owners still own us.
And then to top it all off,
still own us. And the fact that you as an African woman sit there and, number one, you call us dumb. We haven't developed when we're basically brainwashed. You sit there and you criticize us because you have the opportunities to come over here and get what we can. But don't understand the source. One thing I have not got
is a very white attitude to have.
One thing I have not got is
very
everybody
white.
blames the black people for their problem, but don't ever call out what caused it. Nobody ever call out the colonizers.
Nope.
Never.
Never call out the problem.
It is always us.
And
I didn't enslave me. I didn't rape me. I didn't use me as cattle.
Yep. And Africans, what they don't realize, and they don't realize it until they come to the United States of America, is that, the white people here in America and all over the world think less of you. You all have African pride. I could be jealous of it, sure, but I'm not. And the reason I'm not is because I'm proud to be Black American.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, I'm not ashamed of it because my culture influenced the world, even you. How you wear your hair, boo, them lace fronts and all that. I'm not ashamed of my culture because it influenced the world. Y'all adapt and take. So I'm not ashamed of me, but understand this, boo. When you get over here, and I can ask all Africans, when you get over here, whether you got money, status, education, you still treated like a nigga.
Yep. And you don't realize it until something happens.
And you laugh.
Like, I was like...
Ignorant.
Ignorant.
I wish I had your handle, because I will put this thing on TikTok. Whatever your name is.
Open up them comments, because I know they lit her. I know they lit her.
Like Sarah Bellum. Just because your head big don't mean that you got a brain.
Yes, bitch, because you clearly don't. If you think that less. And then to top it all off, what Africans...
So cute, but you looking like a black woman. What about that?
A whole black woman. Black woman does your hair. Stop it.
How about that?
The biggest problem I have with that is the fact that they don't even understand or realize that as black Americans, we are the most successful black group in the entire world. And you all have so many motherfuckers in this continent of Africa.
Not only African American people, the black women are the most intelligent on this planet.
Oh, that includes y'all.
On this planet.
Africans, women, you didn't know that?
Including
y'all?
over y'all.
No, that includes them. That's what they don't get. It includes them.
Like,
You're not.
boo.
No, you're black. That's what it is. You're black. And you don't want...
Like, I don't know what you thought you was, but in this world, sis, you're a nigga.
You're African. You are African. You are black.
In this world, sis, you a nigga.
Always will have be. You will always be that. You don't get it. Because of the simple fact you were never brought up in a society like the one we were brought up in.
Exactly.
You come from a homogenized society.
Amen.
You know, you come from a place with corrupt politicians. You know what I mean?
The same ones that probably, like he said, probably sold us, selling y'all land, selling y'all minerals, all that.
All that.
But you don't understand it.
You don't understand.
You don't understand it.
Corrupt like Nigeria, Kenya. Those are two of the most corrupt places. Ghana's now getting up there as being very corrupt. You know what I mean? All these places, all these different examples of these African politicians absolutely selling out their most vulnerable and like poorest populations.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not doing right with anything. Sudan is a very good example of that.
Yes.
Because of the simple fact they have leaders that are sitting there literally not feeding anyone. So how dare you? So it's like, how dare you talk about a group of people and you know, and the thing about it is, you don't know the extent of what it is we've gone through, but bitch, you know that our ancestors, that we are come from slaves.
So,
And you know
yeah.
what? I'm not even gonna say slaves because you know what? I'm tired of using that. I'm tired of using that terminology. Imprisoned people. Okay?
now I like to keep using the word slave because they haven't realized the meaning yet. They call it victim. They have not understood the significance of what a slave is. And I don't want to not use that word.
I can use slave.
Because the significance behind it, and that's the reason why they still don't understand our way of thinking and how we are.
No.
Because they like to use everything else besides exactly the word. We were slaves. We were cattle.
It was like you say victim.
We were cattle.
Like, you say victim one more time. That is one privileged thing to say when you come from.
We were cattle.
I was just like, no.
We were treated exactly like you would to cows and pigs.
Yep. I was like, y'all don't get it.
And we're human.
Yep.
And it's funny. I'm gonna read the comments. So
I know they lit her up. I know they lit her up.
You better read it. First comment. Read the comments. Yes.
I was born outside the U.S. and I hear a lot of foreigners who don't understand African American history say this. Additionally, many of them are not aware of the successful African Americans in business, education, medicine, and various walks of life. Shout out to my African American brothers for paving the way for foreigners to come here and be successful. All love. Anyway. Hey,
the civil rights movement made way for you to come out here, but you don't realize that. Y'all would have never been able to come out here and even get visas without our sacrifice.
Yup.
And everything in this country we built, to this day they still use our traffic lights, the light bulb.
Yep, everything.
All our inventions
they're so
that make
stupid.
life so easy.
And they're so stupid, they think that white people did all this.
No, they did not. We did all this.
Yeah, you're crazy.
Our sports that you love, everything around the world has been set there. And
ooh, listen to this. This is good. This is a long one, but it's good. The so-called highly civilized cultures come to America and ask, how do we outperform you? As if success is something shallow and material like buying a house, driving a nice car, or landing a job with a title. That's not power. That's participation. There's nothing in this country you can do, obtain, or achieve that we, as African Americans, haven't already done tenfold, while being targeted, redlined, discredited, and criminalized. You walk into a nation layered with inequality and then look down on our struggling class pretending that's the full picture of us. But the fact that you even use African Americans as your benchmark only proves how high we've set the standard. You left nations drowning in poverty. Poverty we can't even fathom. And rather than return and fight for your people like we fight for ours, you assimilate and look down. You came from your elite class, but we were born from the bottom and still rose, and we're still here. Still building, still pushing, still shaking the world. Never forget, you're measuring yourself against the blueprint. Thank you. We run this. We run the whole shit.
That's why we at the bottom, because y'all can never admit that you steal from us, and if we ever got to the damn top.
The only times y'all hair gets done right is when you move here.
Yeah.
That's the only time. How many African girls do I see? You know what I'm saying? Who go to, like, they don't even go to African braiders. They go to black American women to do their hair because they like the way they look with their motherfucking hair. Because black women, American black women, slay motherfucking hair.
Well, we can't even wear our little hair, but we can't even do this no matter what we
and don't even
slay.
know the history of it.
No.
You came up in a homogenized community.
Yeah.
And the thing about it is, I'm not downing it.
Yeah.
I'm not downing it. And it's just like it's like how we were conditioned here as black Americans,
yeah.
and how we view ourselves, especially of our appearances, everything.
Yeah.
And it's just like being clean, extra clean,
yes.
and everything else.
Yeah.
The thing about it is, y'all did not have to sit there and go through any of that. Most of why we are like that is because of trauma. These are trauma responses.
And then, boo, with your peanut brain, you have not realized that these are all the things that they use to separate us. Because us combined, Africans and African Americans, oh my mind, power structure. They know for sure if we was to ever get together, it'll be no bottom for us. And there'll be only bottom feeders.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all need to stop also being brainwashed by our colonizers and get to understand us and to understand that we're more alike than different. And that together, we're a power couple. And they don't want it. And saying things like that, and even this conversation of going back and forth to try to prove to y'all who we are.
Ooh, here's another one. Black immigrants moved to the most impoverished parts of the ghetto and measured their success against those specific Black Americans. Clock it. The fact that you all have to measure your success against ours in our country, and we have zero desire to move to any of your countries, is the success in itself. Because if we settle anywhere outside of the U.S., we are not allowed to do so poor. So my ancestors created opportunities in my land that your ancestors could not cultivate in your land. And you're welcome.
Everybody, all immigrants, every last one of y'all have prospered off of civil rights, off of the suffering and dying and murders of my people. Every last one of you, Asian, African, Latino, Italian, all of them. And I am sorry to say also Jewish people. When it comes to America and around the world, have progress off the back of blacks.
I'm sorry. Someone's comment made me laugh. You know, she said, listen to this. Why are y'all always worried about black Americans? Girl, go chase a goat and leave us alone. Anyway, that was petty. Now, but when I was getting back to it,
everybody always worried about us because we're the threat. And the thing about it is, you can't let the sheep have a brain.
Nope.
Because there will be no more sheep. Or, I told you, with humans, if you think about it, this is how I think we think. We are sociable creatures, but we have a hierarchy. How can you have a hierarchy if everybody is the same? So you use certain things to create differences. And because we are the natural born hierarchy, for you to basically systemize and create a ladder or separation between us, these lies are spilled to make you feel better about yourself.
Right, and the thing is, you're fed to it from white people.
And the thing about it, and it's everybody, it's even white people. And the thing about it is, there is no differences. We are all humans, born the same way, die the same way, bleed the same way.
But our ancestry is just extremely different.
Ours as it is, but what I'm saying is, it is foolish to think that you are better than another human being when you're born and died and bleed the same way.
I agree. I 100% agree with that.
You don't see animals sitting there saying that's a white otter, it's not an otter.
Right.
You don't see lions saying that's a white lion and it's not a lion.
Still a lion.
It's still a lion. And they're the animals. And we the ones are intelligent.
Exactly.
I can agree with her in that point as far as I celebrate. None of us have got past that fact except for African Americans. Because you know what we do? No matter who you are, no matter what race, what color or whatever, we accept everyone. We stopped doing it because y'all started to backstab us. But we learned one thing, that we are all human. And that's what y'all fear. The one who's carrying the undeveloped brain is the world. And the African Americans is the only one that see the light, the sheep.
Mm-hmm.
The sheep.
Mm-hmm.
And guess what? If you want to be politically correct, it looks like the world following the sheep. Regardless of what y'all make it seem. So what that say about you if you want to think highly of yourself?
Because they see white people do it in America and they feel like that they can too. And what's so interesting, it was just like your measuring stick.
Exactly.
For how you I was like, I don't know, like the black people you were around. It's because of the simple fact, number one, your family was cheap and y'all wanted to live someplace wherever and didn't really check out what the fuck was around you. Because of the simple fact, you all lack black American history. And to be a black person in this world,
yes,
you have to know black American history. Because if you're not a black American, you are just not going to understand unless you're from Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? You know, Jamaica is different. You know what I'm saying? I mean, there was definitely, I was just like, there's definitely people from Africa who dealt with genocide. Mm-hmm. I'm not talking like, yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah. There's definitely instances of the different groups besides us, even that I acknowledge.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That, hey, you know what I'm saying? I get it.
Yeah.
But y'all don't, I was like, y'all, most black foreigners, when I say foreigners, not from the United States of America. Uh-huh. You know what I'm saying?
Africans. Because let's get this correct. Black is only associated with enslaved Africans in America.
Right.
No other continent can you say black. And the reason why we choose the word black is because, once again, we are still oppressed. Everywhere you go, the people that live in the country are named by their country. Africans, Europeans. But in America, it's different. Americans, white Americans, will not let us adopt the name as Americans. They don't even see us as a human beings. So for us to be classified, to put a name to who we are, because everybody else in this world has a name, we choose black. You cannot label yourself as black if you're not enslaved Africans from America. For the simple reason, where you're from, that is your label. We have to use our color because everything in America is down to race and colorism. And that's what you don't understand. We can't call ourselves Americans. We do.
You don't come from a nation like that. Everyone from around you looks like you. Everyone.
And I need to, when he was talking about, when Looney sat there and say how you measure yourself against human beings.
No, what I was saying is measuring yourself against black Americans.
Exactly.
Yeah.
When you sit there and you use the measuring stick, how everybody measures themselves against African Americans are actually through things. Cars, money, houses, clothes, things that nature. Y'all can't not intelligently measure yourself with us. Because no matter what we have been through, we always overcome and we sustain. So when you measure yourself and you measure your worth, just understand you measure yourself against materialistic things and not exactly of the value of the human being. You have to ask yourself, you got to ask yourself that question. You measure up to the dollar. Your worth is a dollar bill. Yep. Your worth is a car. Yep. Your worth is a house.
Yep. And whatever country you came from, and if you're rich, that means the simple fact.
That's why most, especially white people, are empty, because that's their worth. They can't measure themselves to anything else, but not black people, not African Americans, because no matter what, we never had money. We never had wealth. We never had this. We never had that. And still, no matter what, our people have overcome
and the thing about
all odds against us. And we have overcome. So we can sit there and measure our worth against our success.
And we're built, and the thing about it is our community is building. We have more wealth now than we did 20 years ago.
And I need y'all Africans to understand this one thing. The sheep was able to build a community without the master. But as long as we have the master, we cannot build. They tear down everything that we built. It is set up that way.
Tulsa.
You ask how, not just Tulsa, so many.
Rosewood,
you ask
Central
how
Park.
Healthcare is not safe for African Americans. We can't trust our doctors. They perform unnatural surgeries and things of that thing. Everything with us requires segregation for us to strive, but we can't have segregation without unity because we are not allowed unity. Integration was not the best thing for us. We just wanted equality, and we thought that integration would give us that. But what it did was it took away our independence and still made us, and still segregated us. And our leaders and everybody start to realize that. Not only that, everybody that rises up to stand for us is killed. Yep. We live, what don't y'all understand? It's like if my mom is sitting there abusing me, my mom and my dad is abusing me, but I gotta live in this house. I can't escape it. What don't y'all understand? We live with our oppressors on an everyday basis. That is not a hard thing to recognize. But I guess, boo, your cerebellum has not developed to understand that basic concept. It's like setting a fucking...
She got them bantu knots too tight.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it
it's
is.
like setting the sheep free, and I'm going to call it sheep because, yes, we were bred like cattle. Cattle, not humans, cattle. It's like you set the sheep free, but they're still on the master's land. Well, bitch, you eating my grass. Please. As an intelligent you are, and how you come from the mother continent, please don't let them continue to brainwash you and understand the importance of us, and the importance of you, and the importance of a we. And these conversations do need to be had because media plays a big part on our perceptions of each other. And I guess you didn't realize media is also ran by our colonizers.
Yep. All the way.
You're going to hear all about the black crime and the shootings and the young kids and whatever. You're never going to hear about all the domestic violence cases and abuse and murders from white men. Majority of violent crimes that are committed are by white men. You're not going to hear that. You're not going to hear the housewife that was shot by a husband and he killed the kid. You're not going to hear about none of that. You're going to hear about how the black neighborhoods is black on black crime. When you look at the statistics, all you got to do is research. You're just listening to what the master is telling y'all. And you will see.
Mm-hmm. What?
Boo, we are trying to heal ourselves and build ourselves. And we don't need nobody telling us what, how we should do, what we think, or criticizing us and looking down. Because there ain't no motherfucking body better than us. Because you know what I say? If you can literally take human beings and use them as cattle, rape, kill, hang, abuse their children, you are not a human being to me. So to me, ain't nobody better than me. And you should not be sitting there looking down at me.
Mm-hmm.
To sit there and classify yourself based off of materialistic things, boo, you can't look down at me. You not on my level. Not at all. None of you. That's a very inhumane thing to do to a race of people. And you want to know why? Because how they was born. Can you control how you was created, brought into this world, who your mom and dad was? But just because they were brought into this world black.
Mm-hmm. All the time.
And you want to call yourself intelligent.
Talk about it.